All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at exactly why optimizing employee transportation has suddenly become a massive strategic priority for enterprise leaders. For the longest time, managing company cars was really just viewed as this tedious administrative chore. But workplace dynamics have shifted radically. And because of that, executive decision makers, everyone from HR leaders to facility managers, are realizing that outdated commute policies are literally draining their budgets. So today, we're going to explore a much smarter, data-driven approach that can take that logistical headache and transform it into a streamlined, cost-saving engine for your entire business. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll be looking at the hybrid mobility challenge, the hidden costs of idle fleets, defining what pool vehicle management actually is, solving those daily operational roadblocks, driving real ROI, and finally, getting a glimpse into the future of corporate mobility. Let me ask you something to get us started. Just think about your own organization for a second. Are your company vehicles just sitting there idle, while at the exact same time your overall transportation budget is skyrocketing? It's a crazy situation, right? You might have vehicles parked at the depot that haven't moved in literally weeks, while simultaneously you're reimbursing employees for really expensive alternate transport. It's this bizarre paradox of having high-value assets but incredibly low actual utilization. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Hybrid Mobility Challenge. So picture this. You've got offices reopened, but with reduced headcounts and constantly shifting, staggered schedules. That old-school model of permanently assigning one company car to one executive, it simply doesn't make sense anymore, especially when that executive might only be commuting into the office 2 days a week. Those traditional one-to-one company vehicle policies are incredibly rigid and honestly completely obsolete today. Companies urgently need dynamic, attractive, and, above all, cost-effective mobility options for their workforce, and that requires a totally different approach to fleet management. Moving right along to Section 2, the hidden costs of idle fleets. If you're managing vehicles manually, and by that I mean relying on clunky spreadsheets, clipboards, or just physically handing off keys at the front desk, you are basically flying blind. It creates these massive operational blind spots. You don't really know who is driving what or where they're going. But by shifting to a digital process, you completely flip the script. You enable dynamic sharing and real-time tracking. It literally takes you out of the dark ages and fundamentally changes the cost-benefit equation of every single corporate vehicle you own. Because without that technology in place, your company is just bleeding money through hidden costs every single day. Think about it. An unused vehicle is just a depreciating asset gathering dust on your balance sheet. And when they are actually used, well, a lack of oversight inevitably leads to excessive fuel consumption from speeding or just idling in traffic. Then add in the vehicle downtime from missed maintenance, the huge liability risks of unauthorized personal trips, and the total administrative nightmare of sorting through false billing claims. It's a mess, and it eats directly into your profit margins. Which brings us nicely to Section 3, defining pool vehicle management. Okay, so let's get everyone on the exact same page. What is pool vehicle management, or PVM? Essentially, it's an integrated system that uses infrastructure like smart booking, key management, and ride monitoring to totally overhaul how your assets are used. Instead of static one-to-one ownership, a pool vehicle is there to be shared by all authorized employees. Need to head off-site for a client meeting? You just book a vehicle beforehand right from your smart device. This shared model ensures that whether you own these cars outright or lease them, you are squeezing the absolute maximum utility out of every single one. Let's jump into Section 4, solving daily operational roadblocks. I want to walk you through exactly how seamless this becomes in practice. Imagine an employee needs to visit a job site. They pull out their phone, open an app, and request a ride. Boom. The system automatically analyzes that request, validates what they actually need, assigns a perfectly compatible vehicle, and then monitors the entire trip via GPS. There are no confusing email chains with the fleet manager, no hunting around the office for a missing set of keys, just total real-time visibility and a frictionless experience for the employee. Now, that fit-for-purpose validation step I just mentioned, that is absolutely crucial. This is where the system gets really smart. PVM software completely avoids redundancy by matching the specific vehicle to the actual nature of the work. If an employee just needs to make a quick downtown sales call, the system allocates a highly cost-effective standard passenger car. It won't let them accidentally check out a massive, expensive utility truck for no reason. It perfectly aligns your fleet size and vehicle type with your actual on-the-ground operational demand. And we aren't just geeking out over cool software features here. We are translating these tools directly into the compliance and risk mitigation outcomes that business leaders actually care about. For instance,
In-cab displays send real-time alerts to correct poor driving habits, which instantly mitigates corporate risk. Automated alerts for inspections and license verifications, that guarantees regulatory compliance and stops unexpected downtime in its tracks. And by locking those bookings to specific time slots, you automatically shut down unauthorized weekend use and completely eliminate false fuel claims.
Section 5. Driving ROI and business value. This is the part everyone loves. By sharing costs and drastically cutting down administrative overhead, PVM directly impacts the bottom line. It's a compounding effect. You utilize vehicles to their absolute maximum potential, which naturally reduces idle hours. You're always scheduling the most compatible, cost-effective vehicle. You enhance fuel efficiency, improve driver safety, and ensure total compliance. When you strip away all that manual paperwork, this ceases to be just another IT software purchase. It really becomes a powerful engine for slashing transportation expenses and driving massive enterprise value. Finally, let's look ahead with Section 6, the future of corporate mobility. Every organization right now is highly focused on improving their carbon footprint, but you can't just buy a fleet of electric vehicles, cross your fingers, and hope for the best. You need serious infrastructure to make it work. A smart pool vehicle system steps in to manage the very unique challenges of EVs. It ensures vehicles are actually returned to dedicated charging stations, it tracks battery levels so cars are ready for upcoming trips, and it even enforces green zone parking rules. PVM is quite literally the bridge between your high-level sustainability goals and actual day-to-day execution. To sum up the ultimate value proposition here, I absolutely love this quote from our source material. The system acts as an artificial supervisor. It completely takes over the tedious micromanagement, the paperless maintenance alerts, the fuel consumption analysis, keeping fleet usage balanced, tracking locations in real time. Because it handles all of that, your human workforce is finally freed up. They can get back to analyzing data and making high-level strategic decisions, rather than running around chasing down vehicle keys. So I will leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to transform your transportation overhead into an automated engine for operational efficiency and enterprise growth? The shift from a messy manual fleet to a digital pool vehicle management system? It's really no longer just a nice to have. It is absolutely a competitive necessity for any modern hybrid enterprise. It is time to stop letting your incredibly valuable assets just sit there gathering dust. I really hope this explainer has given you the strategic insights you need to rethink your employee commute operations. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one.